Okay guys, it is the next day. Yesterday I spent a ton of time just cleaning. And I took everything off the car that actually needs to come off the car so that we can wrap. So everything that came off the car was the headlight covers, the front bumper. We pretty much unbolted the front fender. We got the side mirrors off, we got the window trim off, we got the door handles off. We got these little trims for the hardtop off, the gas cap is off. We got this little weird antenna thing back here. I don't know what it was for, but the owner says it doesn't even work anymore, so we took that off. We took the actual antenna off. We're not going to be replacing that. Took the rear bumper off and the rear finish panel. And the same thing goes for this side as well. If you guys can see, this is what the color is. It is called 3M. What is this color called? I'm not exactly sure what the color is. I'll think of, 3M Satin Key West is the color. It looks really cool. It's like this kind of like green bluish color. Almost like Tiffany blue. It's getting really blasted by the light right now, so you'll be able to see it when I do a fender. Wrapping in the wintertime, keep in mind I'm in San Diego, so it's actually decently warm. It's about 50 degrees, but wrapping in cooler weather is definitely not a good thing. The vinyl likes to be around 80 degrees, I found, and when the body panels are cold and you put the vinyl on there, the vinyl will rip very easily. When I was doing the hood, I felt the vinyl. So I've done this a few times and I kind of experienced with how the vinyl feels to the touch. It felt crispy, which vinyl should never really feel crispy. It should feel like you should be able to pull it forever and it'll just constantly stretch until it pretty much deforms, but it won't rip. This morning, the hood was cold enough to where when I put it on there, I realized, crap, I should have warmed the hood up before I put this piece of vinyl down because it felt crispy. It felt like if I pulled it, it was actually just going to rip instead of stretch. So what I did was I just started heating up the hood from the backside a lot with heat from the heat gun, and eventually it got warm enough to where it actually warmed up the vinyl enough to where it was kind of like where it'd be around 80 degrees or a normal spring or summer day here. So it's definitely good to understand that vinyl likes to be in warmer weather. So don't go out, especially if you're somewhere where it's snowing right now, definitely don't be vinyl wrapping your car, or if you are, you gotta do it in somewhere that's a heated space, because you can't be doing that in your garage where it's 20 degrees. It will not work at all. And it has nothing to do with the brand of vinyl. That's just what it is. The vinyl needs to be warm and able to be stretched a little bit. And there's always a little bit of stretching done on every single panel. I would like a tiny bit of stretching. It's called glassing out, or glassing out the film, which is, you're barely pulling it, but you do need to be able to pull the vinyl. Keep that in mind. Temperature is a huge thing. Now I'm gonna do this next fender, prep it up really good, make sure it's all perfect before I actually wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it and then I'll kind of explain what I'm doing on the next fender or the next piece, whatever I do. Went ahead and got this fender done, all cut up and everything. It's looking solid. Fender looks really cool. This looks more blue in camera. This is like making it really light for some reason. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the door. I've already cleaned it. Important thing to do about cleaning is get in where you're actually gonna tuck your corners. You have to clean where you tuck the corners in. So every little tiny crevice, that's what takes a while, especially for older cars like this. There's like built up dirt everywhere on older cars. So especially in those cracks and crevices where when you wash a car, you typically aren't going to clean that. So there's a lot of cleaning involved, especially with older cars. It's kind of nice wrapping a new car because the paint's fresh. There's really no dirt anywhere. It takes really quick to prep it. But this is what we got to work with, and this is what we're gonna do. I already measured the vinyl out. I rolled it up backwards, and I'm gonna place it on there, stick it on, and then unravel the entire roll until it goes to the very end. And yeah, we'll walk through this one together. All right, cool, so everything again is prepped, everything is wiped down, everything should be good. Just visually make sure there's no dust, debris on the panel before you go for it. So here goes nothing. A couple inches on either side is solid, you know, 3, 4, 5 inches is good, but you don't want a foot on one side because it's going to be way too much bleed and it's just going to be harder to work with. On these doors, specifically, you can see it right here, there's an indentation right here, so we can't do, essentially we have to do the glassing technique that I'm about to show you, we have to do it twice. So the first thing we're going to do is essentially make it look like it's already laid but without squeegeeing anything first. Where is that line? So like right here, so we're going to squeegee like right here. And everything we do from now on is going to be essentially from this point. We're going to be pulling from that point in all corners. The vinyl isn't super warm right now, so I'm going to go get my heat gun just to warm it up a little bit. I'm not warming it up to do like a huge stretch. I'm just warming it up to like what the vinyl would feel like in summertime. We do something called glassing it out, which is essentially we're going to go grab a corner, if we can. And so that point is where it's sticking, and we're going to try to make it, we're going to pull in opposite directions, like we're going to pull like this, not pull straight, get the corners, pull away from each other. And then we're going to try to make it look like the vinyl is already laid. We're going to do that in pretty much every corner we can do it. So here, from this side, again going from that middle contact point, pull from the top, pull, stick it down, and would you look at that? And everything's looking pretty good on the top portion. Remember, we're gonna do this again after the seam. I'm just gonna start squeegeeing essentially where that point was, that starting point. And I'm gonna go to about the seam in the middle of the door. Solid on the bottom, so we're going to work our way up now. Without any tension at all, we're going to, I'm just going to shoot it with heat real quick because I think it has the potential of ripping because it's kind of cold. And this isn't for any stretching purposes, this is just to make sure the vinyl actually doesn't like literally rip on me. Start from the middle. And then just start feeding it in there without any without any tension. This will ensure that this won't pick up on us when we're all the way down. Okay, now that we have this laid in there with zero tension at all, we recognize that the vinyl really looks like it has zero stretch on it. We're essentially going to do what we did to the top, to the bottom, and then we're done. We got to tuck the corners and cut it, and then we're done. We got ourselves a finished product there, mate. Now, there are little like imperfections in the door, and that's a question I get all the time, is if you have a dent or something, it will pretty much show through the vinyl, but if you have a scratch, it might not. If you have a little tiny scratches, like there's a bunch of little scratches on here that aren't gonna show through the vinyl, but little door dings and stuff like that will show through the vinyl. There's one right there, and there's another one right there, but it's all one uniform color, which was a million times better, because this black is like black, gray, then there's chips and stuff like that. So it's starting to come around.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast, all tied up like a captive. On to you, used to pay to my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I don't feel this in nature.
What up? We're looking at day 3 here now. I believe it's day 3. And here we are. We got a lot of things wrapped. I think the things I haven't shown you that are wrapped, that are now wrapped, that aren't wrapped, that are now wrapped are these things, like the hard top little thingies. I wrapped them in satin black. I wrapped the rear finish panel in obviously this like blue-green, and the inside of it in a satin black. So that's not the actual black of the car, that's a actual wrap or vinyl. And first thing I'm attacking today is the bumpers. So I have the front bumper. This is the first layer. There's a little indentation on Miatas that go right in here. And instead of doing all one piece where this would most likely pick up, what the idea is I just put down knifeless tape, cut along this line, and then the next piece is going to overlap this just by like a tiny bit, and then we'll have this whole entire front bumper wrapped. Here's like a really good representation of what the two different colors are. Obviously that is the OEM color, and you can see how nice this paint was before, but luckily this kind of just, that gets all covered up by the wrap. There is a little tiny, you can tell a little bit from the wrap with the paint differences, but all in all, this is actually pretty flat, so it's not a big deal for the wrap. This fender did get in some kind of accident of some sort. Obviously, it looks really beat up. I told the owner that's kind of what it's going to look like with the wrap on. He was okay with it. He didn't want to get a new fender, even though I told him it was only like 60 bucks. But we wrapped this anyways. The OEM fender is still on there. Honestly, today I'm going to try to get the two bumpers wrapped and the mirrors wrapped if possible, and then tomorrow I will assemble everything and give it back to the owner. It's been a couple of days. I felt like crap for the past couple of days. I have gotten some things done while I've had the energy, and I'm going to show you, but I haven't had the energy to film. So, a couple of the things that I got done recently was everything is reinstalled on the car other than the front bumper. This is looking freaking sick. What I'm going to come back and do another day or another week from now is all these lights, I'm going to actually tint them out. So it goes along with the rest of the car because the whole car is satin black and this really nice greenish blue, like Tiffany blue looking color. Entire front bumpers wrapped. Everything's super dirty right now. I haven't cleaned anything. But I also installed that lip down there, that Garage Very replica lip. These are wrapped in satin black, if you can't tell. The car did come black, but I decided to wrap these satin black just to make it look really clean. The Miata, the paint wasn't super good, as you could tell in the beginning of the video, but satin black looking good now. I painted the door handles black, and these two little accent pieces right here black. I wrapped this satin black, and it's really coming together. So everything's coming pretty good. I wrapped the rear finish panel as well. This thing was like literally about to break when I took it off, so I just put it right back on. I wrapped the inside satin black. This is right here is a layer. This is a layer, and then obviously the blue is one single layer as well. All there's left to do is wrap the rear bumper and then install it, and then everything else is done. As you can tell, this place is a freaking mess. So I'm excited to get this project over with, excited to turn it over to the owner, and excited to have a clean garage again. I'm not sure if I'm going to show me doing the rear bumper or not. I really don't know. I still feel like crap, and I have a lot to do and a lot to clean up. So